opportunity of a lifetime for all of you proud New Yorkers who want to save our state. We are going to win this race because we have to win this race. These aren't just words. I said them when I was in Cortland County. When we first started the campaign, I was with Connie White and her committee, and Bob Brooks from Shenango was there. And what struck me the most when I said that was I was looking at this guy, and there was a few others in my peripheral, and the way they responded with emotion and frustration and passion. This is everything for all New Yorkers of all stripes. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, a conservative, a moderate, a liberal. All New Yorkers are hitting their breaking point right now, and they are desperate for us to be successful in this effort to restore balance in Albany, to fire Kathy Hochul and Brian Benjamin. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was with the Belmore Republican Club, and we have all of our friends from Nassau County here. Our great host, Chairman Joe Cotero. And a guy stands up, a big guy, he's wearing a camouflage hat, maybe a veteran, maybe a first responder, I'm not sure. And he said, "This isn't a regular campaign. This is a rescue mission. It's a rescue mission to save our state." We started this campaign over 10.5 months ago, and starting early does matter. Over the course of the first 6 months of this campaign, we've been to every county at least twice, and we kept going. Some counties we've already been to 12 and 15, 20 plus times. Last month when we filed our fundraising report, we had 34,000 donations. Of Kathy Hochul raising all of this money, but just over 100,000 of that came from donations that were $100 or less. So it got me thinking, what kind of grassroots support did we get in our last report? Well, it turns out we got nearly 20,000 donations, almost $1 million that came in $100 or less. Thousands of volunteer sign-ups. People in all 62 counties getting involved in our campaign early and strong, knowing the stakes. And we know what we have to do starting on day one. Any last COVID mandate in place needs to end. They shouldn't be in place by then anyway. If they are, they're done and they're not coming back. By the way, that means that people who lost their jobs should get their jobs back. And our 2-year-olds and our 3-year-olds and our 4-year-olds should never be forced to spend their whole day in New York schools and in daycare, forced to wear a mask. That's child abuse, Kathy Hochul. It's unscientific child abuse. I'm here with my great wife, Lan, and our daughters, Michaela and Ariana. Thank you for being here. And Michaela went through some early intervention in those first couple of years. Can you imagine these kids in these schools wearing a mask, unable to see their teacher's face, the teacher unable to see their face, not being able to see other kids' faces? These kids are almost halfway through high school. They haven't seen the smiles of their classmates since middle school. But it's not just about getting past COVID. It's about restoring New York to glory. It's about backing the blue unapologetically, loving our heroic, selfless, dedicated men and women. It's about repealing cashless bail. It's about firing district attorneys who refuse to enforce the law, like the head district attorney after Brad has to go. That we should pass a law enforcement bill of rights. Let's recognize the inherent right of self-defense of our great men and women in blue. Yeah. Democrats in blues counties families inside of New York City and elsewhere, they want to feel safe outside of their homes. They care about their son and daughter's education, and that transcends party loyalty. I believe that parents have a fundamental right to control the upbringing of their child, and they do not relinquish that right by sending their kids off to school. I am highly suspicious of anyone in education, anyone in government, who believes that by sending your kid off to school, that you are relinquishing that right to control the upbringing of their child. That's a day one action to make sure parents know that they are being encouraged from that point forward to be as involved as possible in their son and daughter's education. That's how you improve the family. That's how you improve education in New York. It's a Republican value, and it resonates with Democrats too. I believe that we should have term limits on all of our statewide officials. I believe that the Founding Fathers' intent is you bring your ideas, your energy, you bring your passion, you try to make a difference, and then you move along. We should pass term limits. Don't just talk about it like they're doing right now in Albany. Actually do it. I believe that it is important in all 50 states, New York included, to enact a voter ID for our elections as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the solutions are not complicated. It takes common sense. You want to restore our economy? Well, what we shouldn't see is Albany bragging about how they are raising electric rates in exchange for cutting off an application for a new gas supply, as you recently saw between PSC and National Grid. We have our own resources under us in many regions of the state, and I support the safe extracting of those natural resources. It would create jobs, it would revitalize communities, it would allow us to further cut taxes, it would reduce energy costs. And I believe that what we need is more local control, less Hochul control. The single-family housing zoning policy that Kathy Hochul pushed was wrong. You all know it. We stood up in Suffolk and Nassau and all across the rest of this entire state. And she regretted that decision and she pulled it back. Public service is about the people in government serving the public. Public service is not about the people serving you. Kathy Hochul doesn't understand that. She actually referred to New Yorkers as her apostles. You are New Yorkers, you are residents. We are all hitting our breaking points. It's our families, it's our communities, it is this state. We are leading the entire nation in population loss. And the solutions are easy: to restore safety, to reverse the attacks on our security. It is easy to make sure that parents know that they are back in control of their kids' education. The solutions are not difficult: to lower taxes and make sure that New York is open for business again. This is a battle for the heart and soul of our state. Just like right now, we are battling for the heart and soul of our country. I'm not running to be an emperor governor. I'm running so that the people feel like they are back in control of their government again. That there's political governance. We are going to win this race because we have to win this race. This is a rescue mission to save our state that will be successful. I'm so grateful to my home county of Suffolk for being here, and our chairman, Jesse Garcia. Thank you for all the support for the year. We have now won 7 consecutive races in purple New York City suburban districts. We did it by communicating to Democrats and independents. We won and unsat a Democratic incumbent for the state Senate in 2010, a Democrat for a House seat in 2014. We refuse to lose. Losing this race is not an option. We are going to flip the House of Representatives from Democrats to Republicans. We are going to take the gavels out of the hands of Nancy Pelosi and have them shift and Jerry Nadler and Nancy Waters. We're going to flip the United States Senate and have balance again in Washington because we need it. As we watch what happens overseas, and we think of all those Ukrainian American families in our own state. We have a huge population. We stand with them. They are pro-freedom against a Russian aggressor if it's at our own border. If it's inflation, if it's the supply chain crisis, we know the stakes in Washington. This is one ticket, one team, top down, bottom up for the next 8 months, all in everywhere, taking absolutely nothing for granted. If we dig deep, if we work hard, if we communicate with every opportunity that is in front of us, we can't lose. And on top of flipping the House and flipping the Senate and electing people to the state Senate and state assembly and breaking that supermajority, we're going to make history. Because for the first time in decades, this party, this state, is going to be back in charge of its destiny. It's this party and this state that will restore New York to glory. We will make history because for the first time in decades, we will have a Republican governor once again, and a Republican